Whether you're going to Europe for 10 days or 10 months, all you need is a 40-liter backpack. You really don't need that many clothes, and you may surprise yourself with how little you can get away with. The main mantra with going to Europe, especially on a backpacking trip, is that less is more, and that really is true because you really don't want to be carrying around a lot of stuff. We really only want to use carry-ons when we go to Europe, so the maximum amount of bags you're going to take is like a 40-liter carry-on bag that you can put in the overhead bin, and then a personal item that will fit under your seat, and this is exactly how you can do that. Okay, so the first advice that I have for packing for Europe is to somehow mark your bag where if you're in a public place, like on a plane or a train, it's gonna be really easy to find your bag, especially if you have a generic gray Osprey bag like I do. So what I did is I have this little green thing on the handle, and for some reason I put this pink ribbon tape on it. So yeah, two colors that I can see, probably really only need one, but this has actually saved me quite a bit out in public because a lot of people do have these Osprey bags, especially if you're coming from the United States. So after you mark your bag, you're gonna want to start thinking about what clothes you want to take. So for me, I split this up into 3 different packing cubes because I just use the Amazon Basics packing cubes, which are really great. Okay, so in my first packing cube, that's where I put my pants and my shorts and my socks. So I just have like one pair of joggers here. So one pair of joggers. And then I'll usually take 2 pairs of shorts. I just take your average gym bro shorts. No one really judges me over there, so I think you could do it too. A good thing to have on your shorts is potentially a zipper. So if you're in public and you're maybe worried about your phone getting stolen or pickpocketed, a zipper is just a little bit more peace of mind. So there's some shorts that I like that have zippers, and those are the ones I take. And then for socks, I just take 6 socks plus the ones that I'm wearing onto the plane, so 7 in total, and that gets me by. So for the second packing cube, I put 5 shirts in there, and it's actually the same shirt that I'm wearing right now, just I have 5 other ones, but they're in different colors. So just take a nice light t-shirt that isn't too heavy, or just whatever's comfortable for you, honestly. But I could really wear a shirt 2 days in a row and it'd still be fine, and that'll get me to the next laundry day. And laundry days are usually 6 or 7 days apart, which that's what I do here anyway, so I think that's a good interval of time between washes. And the third packing cube is obviously the most important, and you definitely do not want to be limited by the amount of things that are in this packing cube specifically, because it is for underwear. You really don't want the amount of underwear you take with you to limit you between laundry days, because that's gross, that is stressful. So take a little bit extra underwear than you think you might need, because at least in my case, underwear doesn't take up that much space. So just take as many as you want within reason. So now that the basic clothes are out of the way, there's also some other things like take a light jacket with you. So I just take this pretty decently thin jacket with me. I mean, I wouldn't want to be out in like, 30-degree Fahrenheit weather or anything in this thing, but for like mid 50s, upper 40s, it's fine. And it's also nice to take a jacket that repels water. So this one does pretty decently at it. I mean, you don't have to take like a raincoat or anything, but just something to protect you from the water, because in a lot of climates over there, just like over in the United States, it'll rain unexpectedly. So just think about that. Now for shoes. So I ended up just taking your basic walking, running shoes from, Academy or whatever. So anything like that is gonna do you pretty well. A lot of people say you don't wanna take white shoes over there because they're gonna get really dirty and muddy, and I would have to agree. So don't take white shoes unless you want to get them dirty. So last up on the clothes, you're gonna wanna take some sunglasses and maybe even a hat with you. I take both of those every time, and they're really nice to have. So yeah, like I said, with this amount of clothes, you can probably go a whole week without doing laundry. That's the schedule I have at home to do laundry, is once a week. So I could theoretically go to Europe indefinitely with this amount of clothes. So now moving on to the toiletries. So with a carry-on, you have to follow the TSA's regulations, which they're pretty well published online. So everyone has different toiletries they want to take. So just maximize the limitations for you. And if you do need to end up getting more toothpaste or body wash or shampoo over in Europe, that's really no big deal. Just go ahead and buy some in a pharmacy or a grocery store. It's pretty much the same price as over here, and it's pretty much as accessible to get. Also, pro tip for all the guys out there that shave or have quite a bit of facial hair. I have quite a bit of facial hair, and I actually don't shave with a razor. I just use like a hair trimmer without the guards. So I just charged up the trimmer before I went on my trip, so I knew it wouldn't run out of charge while I was over there, and so that way I didn't have to take razors or anything. And I really think that'll be a good thing for any guy who has facial hair that they just want to keep in check while they're over in Europe. So just think about that. So now with all the toiletries and clothes out of the way, another big thing you are going to want to take is a money belt, which I think I have mine right here. Yes, I do have it right here. So this thing, it does look kind of goofy, but it kind of does disappear, especially on a larger frame. Like, I have a decently large frame, so no one really knows that I'm wearing this. And if you're in like the Paris metro, especially around the city center, or in the Rome metro, a lot of pickpocketing happens around there. So this is just a huge peace of mind because you can wear it under your shirt. I actually kind of tuck mine underneath my shorts a little bit, and to where you can't really see it protrude out through my clothes. So yeah, I just keep my wallet in here. And if I'm in a really pickpockety area, I usually put my phone in there as well because I do not want to get that stolen. So yeah, I just use the Venture Forth one from Amazon. I think it was like 30 bucks, and definitely worth the money. So just go ahead and get one. And kind of on the same topic of wallet and documents and whatnot, some people recommend taking a copy of your passport in case your passport gets lost or stolen. I have done that. Theoretically, a US embassy might have more grace on you, theoretically, if you have a copy of your passport. I do not know if that is actually true, but you know, paper's cheap, so you can just print it before you go. So now moving on to what I like to call travel essentials. So number one on that list is definitely a reusable water bottle. I just have this like 18-ounce Yeti water bottle that I take. Pretty much indestructible, not very heavy, so I can take it on my bag or my carry-on, and it doesn't affect the weight limit that much. I just don't have any liquid in it when I go through security, and then past the gate, I fill it up in the fountain, and I don't have to pay for expensive airport water, so works perfectly. And when you're in places like Italy, and surprisingly some places in Switzerland, they have clean water fountains that are like actually clean, so you don't have to worry about like people putting their mouths on the spouts or whatever, because you know, it's like those water bottles here that you just kind of put it there and it dispenses the water. So you get some really cold, like ice cold water for free, and that'll save you like a lot of money when you're over there. So definitely go do that. Oh, and pro tip, when you're in those areas with the water fountains, you can also wash fruit like apples over there. So that's really nice as well. And the second travel essential for me personally is 2 different sized padlocks, which let me see if I have them right here. Oh, I do. Okay, sweet. So here is one of them. It's like not too small, not too big. Here's the second one. like half the size. And the reason you want to take 2 if you're staying in hostels is because a lot of hostels don't supply locks to you for free, or they might not even have them available to rent at all. And if you can't lock up your stuff in a hostel, you know, it might get stolen. So definitely take two separate size padlocks with you. Preferably ones with codes, like the number codes, and not a key, because you don't want to keep up with 2 keys. And everyone else always talks about this other travel essential, but they talk about it for a reason. It's because it's really useful. And it's a microfiber towel. This thing basically weighs nothing, and it comes in clutch a lot. A lot of places don't have towels for like a cheap amount of money. I've seen towels rent for like €7, which is crazy in my opinion. So if you're just staying in a place for one night and it's gonna cost you €7 to €10 to rent a towel, and you have this, just use this, it'll be perfect. And also, you might never know when you need a towel out in the city, like if your shoes get wet or something, I don't know. I've used this a lot. Goes in the washer, it dries really easily and really quickly, so get one of these. Also, go ahead and get a pair of flip-flops or shower shoes or slides or whatever, because you do not want to be in a gross shower barefoot, and some hostel showers are gross. That's just kind of the way it works sometimes, so we live with it and we adapt. So get some shower shoes. Another travel essential is a portable charger. So I just have this charger that's like 10,000 milliamp hours. So that's gets me like 4 phone charges for my iPhone 14. And I'm never going to need to charge my iPhone that much in a single day. So definitely perfect amount of charge. It's also nice because on a charger of that size, you can charge a camera. Like when I'm filming on right now, I took some photos over there in Europe, which sometimes my camera would be low on battery. So I would just plug it into the portable charger when I was walking around, and it was perfect. And of course, if you want to plug your phone into the wall charger at your hostel or hotel, you're going to need one of those travel adapters. I'll put up a thing right here. I don't have it with me. Yeah, those are pretty useful and they're pretty cheap, so go ahead and pick one up because you'll need it. And the next travel essential is a phone plan. So I've used Airalo in the past, and you don't get a phone number with Airalo, but I don't think that's a big deal at all, because you don't need a phone number when you're in Europe, at least if you're not living there permanently, because you can use WhatsApp or other messaging services. I think in 1 month of being over there, I used just under 10 gigabytes of cellular service. So I think that's a good ratio of time to data that you would need. So if you're there for 2 months, maybe you'd get 20 gigabytes of data and so on and so forth. So I think that's pretty good. So yeah, that's pretty much everything you would ever need in Europe for 10 days, 10 months, you know, whatever. This should all be able to fit in a 40-liter backpack, which will be able to fit in the carry-on bin in most airlines at least. And for your personal item, you can take something like a digital camera if you have that, if you're into photography like me. Just make sure you take, you know, a minimal amount of gear in case you lose it, or I don't know. Gear can take up a lot of space, so just think about that when you go. And a lot of people might not want to take a day bag, but I personally find it super convenient to have a second, smaller backpack, you know, something like you'd have in college or high school or whatever, you know, that kind of size backpack, just to put some random stuff you need throughout the day. So, you know, your water bottle, snacks, your jacket in case you take it off or want to put it on or whatever. Also things like your portable charger when you're out and about during the day. You're gonna have to store that somewhere, so it's just really nice to have a second backpack with you at all times for stuff like that. So yeah, just to recap for the clothes, that's gonna be 1 pair of joggers or sweatpants, 2 pairs of shorts, 6 pairs of socks, plus maybe the socks you're wearing onto the plane, and then 6 shirts and maybe the shirt you're wearing onto the plane. T-shirts are fine, something simple. I mean, you don't want to be stressing too much about your clothes over there. And then your underwear, so however many you think you might need, and a light jacket, something that, you know, can deal with mildly cold weather, nothing insane. It should also repel water. Nice pair of walking shoes that will not get destroyed for walking 13 miles a day, because you will be walking 13 miles a day, trust me. And also a hat and some sunglasses. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you're planning on going to Europe, take all this stuff, and I hope you have a good time over there.